And in business news, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has signed the Electricity Act 2023 bill into law, which will become the second bill the president will sign since assumption in office. The Electricity Act 2023 allows the demonopolization of Nigeria's electricity generation, transmission, and distribution of electricity at the national level. It also empowers states, companies, and individuals to generate, transmit, and distribute electricity. The Electricity Act replaces the Electricity and Power Sector Reform Act of 2005, which was initially passed by the National Assembly in July 2022. Moving on now, following the recent surge in electricity transaction volumes and dependence on channels, Nigeria Interbank Settlement System has slashed transaction processing for the processing fee for instant payment from 5 naira to 3 naira 75 kobo, effective July 1st, 2023. According to the letter signed by the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Premier Owo, and Executive Director of Business Development, Mrs. Ngova Iyembe Nwankwo, she says the reduction is to drive financial inclusion and support innovation. The NIPS also reveals a volume-driven discount regime to complement this fee reduction. And in Lagos, as part of efforts to raise visibility and amplify young entrepreneurs in Nigeria, reputable and platforms under the International African Focus Public Relations Consultancy has launched a Business Mixer program for business leaders and entrepreneurs across all sectors of the economy. Our correspondent Sunday Binabor tells us more in this report.
Small businesses in Nigeria have been characterized by high mortality within their first 5 years of existence. Only about 5 to 10% survive, thrive, and grow to maturity. All these are set to change. These business leaders, entrepreneurs, and experts here say the survival of young businesses in Africa needs to raise their visibilities and build a global reputation for themselves in order to remain in business.
Found out that a lot of emerging and visionary African business leaders, entrepreneurs, and C-suite executives, are not raising their profile and owning their narrative as they should. Like if you look at the entire African business and tech ecosystem, it has grown significantly in the last 5 years. So we believe that these young and emerging leaders deserve to amplify the work they're doing, and people need to know about them.
And we can also attest to this, right? Because we see how much business leaders in Africa, how much they do, how much they commit themselves to ensuring that Africa, Nigeria in the context also is visible, right, well represented.
These young entrepreneurs are being urged to imbibe the spirit of collaboration and partnership in order to enhance their brand identity and seek professional advice when needed.
We cannot overemphasize the need or importance of collaboration. A lot of businesses, people die solo because they want to shine alone, because they want to be the only one that is being talked about. They want to be the only one that is being recognized. They want to be the only one that is being awarded and rewarded. But you find out that when you collaborate, you make more progress. You make more giant strides.
Today, with technology, you can pick up your phone and be everything to yourself, and you start. Trust me, you're going to hit the brick wall. And when you hit it, that brand, you will leave it and run away, or you open another one, you will leave it and run away. That's why you need professionals like RMP to be able to help you.
Nigeria, Africa's largest economy, is currently ranked 131 out of 190 economies in the world on ease of doing business. And these business leaders say constant improvement in government policies and other economic factors is key to survival of young businesses in Nigeria.
The Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission is expressing its support for the recent subsidy removal announcement by the President Bola Tinubu during his inaugural speech, saying it's long overdue. Chairman of the Commission, Mr. Mohammed Bello Shehu, described subsidy as a major challenge to economic growth and development of the country. The Commission's position is premised on the fact that the continued payment of humongous amounts to a privileged few in the name of subsidy was a major drain on the nation's scarce resources. while noting that the country can no longer sustain fuel subsidies whose demerits far outweighs its benefits to the citizenry. It therefore urged the new administration to work out strategies that will cushion the effect of the new policy. Asian Pacific equities rose to their highest level since mid-February today, taking cues from an overnight Wall Street rally as market bets firms for the Federal Reserves to skip a rate increase next week. MSCI's broadest index of Asian Pacific shares added 0.6%, driven by a 2% jump in Japan's Nikkei, which rebounded strongly after its plunge from a 33-year high in the previous session. Chinese stocks were relatively underperformance, with Hong Kong Hang Seng up 0.26%. Mainland blue chip CSI 300 were nearly flat, struggling under the weight of a 2.3% slide for property shares. On the Wall Street overnight, gains were led by tech-heavy Nasdaq, which surged 1.27%. The broader S&P 500 rose 0.62%. E-US equities futures in Asia pointed to about 0.1% lower restart for each of the indexes. The British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak and his U.S. counterpart President Joe Biden has unveiled the Atlantic Declaration to strengthen economic ties between the two countries. The two leaders unveiled the declaration at a White House press conference. The new partnership is set to out to boost economic security between both countries and is being described as indispensable alliance. The Atlantic Declaration includes commitment on ease trade barriers, closer defense industry ties, a data protection deal, and step-ups cooperation on AI.
Our economies are seeing perhaps the biggest transformation since the Industrial Revolution, as new technologies provide incredible opportunities, but also give our adversaries more tools for harm. But one thing I know won't change, I'm confident won't change, is the strength of our partnership, our friendship, and we will put our values front and centre, as we've always done, to deliver for the British and American people.
As NATO allies, we're working together to help provide the collective defense of all of us, and we're going to further, I hope, we're going to discuss today plans to further strengthen our economic relationship. And the global economy is undergoing, I think, the greatest transformation that's occurred since the Industrial Revolution. And something you know a lot about, AI, is going to play a big part in that. I want to hear your views on that as well.
China's financial regulator says the country is open for foreign financiers as concerns continue to mount among foreign firms that the country may no longer be welcoming foreigners to do business. The financial watchdog said this during the ongoing 14th Leisure Forum in Shanghai themed Global Financial Opening Up and Cooperation, New Drivers of Economic Recovery. The world's second largest economy is need for foreign investment to support its reopening after 3 years of COVID-19 restrictions, and has played host to high-profile overseas CEOs, including Goldman Sachs, Group's Tesla boss Elon Musk, amongst others. The chairman of the China Securities Regulatory Commission, Yu Human, told participants that China is adamantly pushing for deregulation in terms of market access in order to attract more foreign investments into the country. Now, crude oil prices look set to post their second straightly weekly lows as prices continue to fall today over demand concerns and skepticism at the United States and Iran could strike a nuclear deal. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude fell to sell at $70.91 with a downward price review of 0.53%. Brent also sells for $75.56, down 0.53%. Bonnie Light is also down 1.16%, selling at $75.68. For the OPEC basket, crude dealers are offering $75.47 with a downward price review of 2.10%. That's business news. I'll see you at the top of